Okay, everyone. Quiet, please. Introduction from me. For those who don't know me, I'm the club secretary. It's such responsible getting all these trophies and so on inscribed and so on. We've got 10 awards altogether. We're missing a couple of players, and yes, they left early. But we'll have various people handing the awards out, and let's get started. So the first one is the second team Player of the Year. And Frenchie, if you want to.
I've fixed the result of this one and I've won it, well done me. So I think often with Player Awards, people stand up and they'll tell you about the credibility of the award, what it means to be a Players Player. I think there's enough experienced rugby players in this room that I don't need to do that, and you all understand the significance of being voted for by your peers and the weight that has and the credibility behind it. I think what's probably more important now to emphasise is the credibility of the second team Players Player. This time, probably 2 years ago, sit down, you bald little prick. Sit down.
Leave my dad alone.
I'll get roasted. Is the credibility of the second team itself. A couple of years ago, we were struggling to field a second team. We had a series of weeks where we conceded and things were looking pretty ominous, and then that became a building block that we worked on. It was something that player recruitment and retention went into, and then all of a sudden, last year, as though overnight, it started to thrive. But it wasn't last year, it started to thrive, and it wasn't something that happened by chance. There was a lot of players, a core group that were the drivers behind that. And that was a very small core group, and a lot of them are sat in this room now and have done a really good job of building on that group. I think testament to that, for the Players Player Award itself, there were 16 separate players that were voted when the polls went out. There's the way we do the awards for some of the old boys. We do a first place, second place, third place, and everyone that's played a handful of games gets a say in that. And the fact that there were 16 people voted for tells you how deep that squad is. We're now in a position where we're able to field a second team every week comfortably, but we're also not selecting 6, 7 players a week. There's probably a longer term discussion to have with some of the people on this table as to where that surplus could go and how we could utilise it, but it's a really healthy position and the growth is organic. And that's, like I said, back to the second team, it's because of that core group and the way they've built. There's a couple of honourable mentions that go in that were close. Like I said, between third and first place there was 4 points difference. Honourable mentions go to Luke Hayward, first year in senior rugby, voted for by many of his peers, so general round of applause for Luke. If he had a brain on his shoulders, we could turn him into a serious rugby player, but we'll work on that. He's got good feet, good wheels on him. Another honourable mention, not here, but his brother is, so we'll clap his brother. Monkey, scrum half, grafting away, a very core part of that side now, so well done to him. The award itself, and I'm not going to do the whole, we'll keep it secret, so you'll start to figure out pretty quickly, but just hold the applause one until the end. Has been a very key part of the development of that side now for a couple of years. We had a model that we adopted 2 years ago, where we had a captain's group, mainly because we needed to grow and we needed more people buying in. And then it became very apparent who the leader of those 4 captains were, and this year he was given the mantra of captain. Now, often the thing that comes with a second team captain is that you can be pigeonholed a little bit, and you can be seen as someone that's therefore not eligible for promotion to the first team. And that's not the case. There's a good senior leadership group behind it. But I think as well, it's probably important to say that he probably knows that second team rugby at the moment is where he's thriving. And I think that's shown from his performances and the fact that he's been voted for by his peers, and how well respected he is both on the field and off it. And his performances and commitment around the club are the reason why his peers respect him and have voted him amongst sort of a fiercely competitive field. So the second team Players Player of the Year is Will Mine.
So I was expected to have to do a speech, but yeah, I think it's been a great year for the second team. Sort of 2 years on the bounce, we've done brilliantly, and I think the main thing is getting those boys back from Colts, getting players like Oscar, Reeve down, playing every week, JJ as well, putting his hand up. But it's about getting everyone involved. We've had a great bunch of lads and had a really good season with hopefully winning the league next year. So that's the aim. So cheers, thank you.
Hello? Hello, James. So this was probably about an hour ago that I was actually going to have to say some words. I only saw the results this morning on an email about 5:30 this morning. So thanks Ed for letting me know so early so I could prepare. But we're actually we're here to, well, this nomination is for the coach's player of the second team. So a player that has shone all season. It was mentioned already by Frenchie. He's been a consistent part of the team all the way through the season, a driving point and a link in between the forwards and the backs. And that player, unfortunately, isn't here, but hopefully his brother will come up. So it's for Elliot Munn.
Well, you all know Elliot. He's not brave with words, so I'll keep it brief in spirit of him. Yeah, cheers, lads.
Evening all. Okay. Before I actually do the first award we're going to do, which is for the top try scorer of the season, I'm just going to, and I apologise to the people who were here at the AGM, I'm going to go through the same thing that I did at the AGM about this club, and where we sit in the makeup of the RFU. Okay. Within the RFU there's over 2,000 clubs. I want you to sit in this room and I'm going to go through a list, and I'm just going to, pardon me, I'm going to read it out. You can just tick off clubs in your own head that you've been to before, and clubs you know, and you can just take them out of the equation. So, first of all, this club is a true town club. Just happens to be on the outskirts of London, but it's a proper town club. So that takes out all the city clubs. To give you an idea of where we go. Okay? And that means you play for a town, you play for a region. It matters to people what the result is on the weekend and how you do. It's read in your local newspaper. You mean something to people. You don't even come down here, they still read about it. We have excellent transport facilities, so we're like a city club. We've got a station, it's right there. All the successful clubs have a station right next to them. Grandstand facility. Starting to run out of clubs in the country already. There's quite a few hundred being knocked off that list. A substantial 2-story clubhouse. A new artificial playing surface. You've looked out the window. Okay. Extensive on-site parking. You've been to some of the clubs that play in our league. You can't park when you get there. You come down to watch. You're parking miles away. 3 senior men's teams, first, seconds, and the vets. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. There's not that many clubs that can say that now. A lot of clubs are struggling to get their twos out. Okay, and before I go on to say the other sections, which is the youth and everything, why I'm doing this is because it's a little bit disappointing what the numbers are here tonight from within ourselves, because we've had the RFU here, the absolute executive committee, sitting in here this week in awe of what this club is. And we're not getting that message out to even the people within our own club, what we have. Never mind about new people. So we have to get better. Those people are sitting here, that's us. We have to get better at making sure people understand where this club sits in the hierarchy. So we go then into a youth section that exceeds 600. Not all clubs have that. Girls section over 100. Okay, just so that the people who don't know, we have a few teams in our league that don't even have a youth section. They only got 2 men's teams. We have 2 clubs in our league like that. They have nothing else other than 40 men playing rugby for them. We have a developing women's program, and then this next figure is the figure that puts us in the top 1% according to the stats. Okay, it's player retention. Players that come through our youth system and end up playing for our adult teams. That puts us right up in the highest. This year, 36 people played in our first or seconds who came through our youth section. Obviously, there's 2 clubs in our league that don't even have 1 in either of the men's teams. We have 5 pitches. We have an internal coach education program. As the RFU has withdrawn some of their support in that, we have put in place that. We have a fly on the wall documentary series. Okay, and then we have, this is the real biter. We have membership fees here that are so low compared to some of these teams that the 1,900 and whatever you've knocked off of this list, most of them, and a big chunk of them, pay more to be members here. This isn't really for the seniors, this is for the whole club, because obviously the seniors are sponsorship and things like that, and it's slightly different. But I speak to a chairman of a club from the Midlands, just so you can get an idea of what their membership is. If you're under 9, you pay £25 a month. If you're over under 9, you pay £35 a month. There is no family membership. Yeah? You got 4 kids, you pay £1,600 a year for your 4 kids to play rugby at that club. And it's what he said to me that made it clear and thought to make us think and realise how special it is here. When you go to a restaurant and you turn up with your family of 5, 3, 4 and 5 don't eat for free because a mum and a daughter have paid for a meal over there. So that's how we've got to get that message across to people. Just how lucky you are to be here and how special this club is. And you are the foot soldiers that are going to have to go out and tell that, because this is not a big enough attendance for an awards evening for a club I've just described. So we have to go out and convince people that there's more to playing rugby than just turning up here on a Saturday 5 minutes before the meet time. So now we're going to the rest of the evening. Okay, all right. So it's the Nigel Crossland Cup Senior Top Try Scorer, and Dick will get up later in the evening on the Allen one and explain about the Crosslands and stuff like that, and I'll wake you up at the end of the speech. Okay, but okay. All right. Okay. So there are obviously, and it does, and if you see it, it does what it says on the top senior try scorer. So there are a few people who put their names up, people like Jake Leach, Chris Gill, these are guys, and that'll tell you how the forwards were playing this season and what we were doing in the first team. But there's a young lad who played first and seconds this year, and he's been named already and he's been embarrassed a little bit, but he is part of the future of this club. And one thing he does know is where the try line is, and that's Luke Haywood.
Pull the car around! Kiss him! That's it.
Thank you.
Go on, speech, come on, Luke.
I won't say much, but one of the things I will say is coming up from Colts, there weren't many of us, me, Joe and Charlie, but one thing I'll thank everyone for in this room, and not in this room, of how welcoming it's been coming up in seniors. So I'd just like to say thank you to everyone, and on to another great season, hopefully next season in the twos and hopefully better in the ones.
Charlie's got a massive job.
The next trophy is the Ian Boyd Trophy for top point scorer. Now I think we all know who that is.
You can't be Craig, you missed him, kid.
But I'm going to have a little word about him. Okay, so he came here and played here, which is a level 5 club. But this season he went out and played for Zimbabwe A, which means he's one step away from playing in their team that's going to the World Cup. So that'll show you that you can fulfill ambitions at this club, and you do not have to go for your rugby ambitions to Rams, Henley, Chenna, or whatever. It is possible to play level 5 rugby, commit to your skill set, commit to your training, and climb the highest ladder. That's a genuine, feasible possibility. And that's the other message we have to get out to people. If you've got a rugby dream, you do not have to go to these other clubs that promise you the world and then don't deliver. You can train here and become that person. And so that point scorer is Greg Smith.
Speech in English.
Yeah.
Cheers, Mumsy, thank you. And thank you for everyone in attendance here this evening. I'll keep it short and sweet because we like to party, we want to get on the beers, especially JJ. But honestly, thank you all for just watching us play Saturday, home, away. You know, when scorelines are close, when scorelines are a bit not so close, it's tough to support us, especially this last season. But I've got a good feeling about this upcoming season. We've got boys coming, returning back from injury. We've got new players coming in, new faces, bit of competition. Yeah, it's just onwards and upwards, and I'll keep working hard to do the same. So thank you for this evening. Thank you.
Okay, so I've got another little surprise presentation. So, if you don't know why Greg is here, I'll tell you a little story very briefly. A bloke called Stevie Moyer came over from South Africa and quality rugby player, played Sharks.
Played Curry Cup for Brickworth. Yeah.
So quality. Came here, played. So I got bored by that point. Stevie Moyer came here. He lived with me for a while. We put him up, we looked after him. He fell in love with this club. We couldn't get the extend his visa. He had to go back to South Africa.
Where's this going?
This is true. When Greggy came over here, what did Stevie Moore say to you?
He said, get your bum to Maidenhead.
That's why he's here. So we love him, and that just reiterates what Mobsy said. We are a special club. But getting on to the little award I want to give you tonight. Who remembers the last kick of the match against Bracknell? The one that won us the game? Do you remember that? Okay. Fuck off then. So obviously we ripped the turf up, but what we thought we'd do is give you a little present. And we thought we'd give you the bit of turf that you kicked that winning conversion from at the end of the game. It just shows Greg just shows what special club we are. Why he's here, and so let's take it on.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Coffee.
There are quite a few people who've come through our cult section who have performed this year. You know, if I was to name them, the people like Joe Harris-Wildman, George Swin, Luke Haywood, of course, would be one of them. And then some of the people who haven't come through, people like Harry Charman and James Marsh. You know, outstanding young players for us. But this is going to go to one person who has proven record of previous playing leadership. Okay. We got absolutely hammered the night before his first team debut. Okay. And so it clearly shows he's going to be a great leader here in the club to come in the future. And that's Charlie Jobs.
Thank you everyone for coming, and it's an honour to win the award. I've been put on the spot and I don't know really what else to say. Thank you to all the coaches that have helped me through my years at the club. Gaj, Mobs, Cam, Brad. Yeah. Thank you.
So as you can see, the club's in great hands going forward. So now we come to the AK Pallet Trophy for the most improved player. Again, the same candidates stand up as really close runners in here. People like George Swin, Elliot Monk, Liam Wondowski, Freddie Tipton, Arif. Okay, but then there's one lad who's climbed that sort of second into first team, and that was his improvement. And then when he got there, he's become a factor in that team, and his name is Ollie Pierce.
Phil Wells Jr.
Hi, Solly.
Hey, that's a great footstep.
I've been pressing this for a week. Isle of Maidenhead bleed magnets.
Okay, let's get away from you fucking prima donnas on the pitch and let's look at the people who really made this club work. This is the David Perry Cup for contribution to the club, and you know, we've all been there. I've been the first player out there, come out Thursday, Tuesday, get out there and play. You forget how you get out there, and there were so many people that worked their fucking nuts off to get you boys out, both raising money and organising and stuff like that. And we talk about how valued volunteers keep rugby going, and I have a big argument with the IFU on a regular basis that, yeah, in the junior section we love them, brilliant, but when you get up to the senior section we're lacking. And if you speak to any club in the country, the senior section is run by a very small amount of people who do a lot of work. And the person that we're going to recognise today, you will not see probably 5% of what that person does to help make this club run. I promise you don't. There are people like Kate Swin who are very difficult not to choose for this. She does so much work with the volunteers. You've got Dan Selby, who is fantastic and brings in all of your sponsorships and helps you pay your memberships. Without Dan, you'd all be paying a lot more memberships and the club would be getting a lot less. But there is someone who is here constantly. Arguably, I sometimes think he's here more than I am. But he is just such a valued person at this club. And at some point I'll explain to you all the things he does. But he is absolutely phenomenal. And that person is Carl. Carl says he doesn't need to do a speech, but I think we should ask him to say a few words.
I only do what I do because I feel that it's needed. Yeah, it's not easy to like give up a lot of time. Support the wife helps, but yeah, Maidenhead.
We're going to take a brief intermission from awards after that riveting speech, Carl. Thank you very much for all the work you do. We're going to play heads or tails before we move on to the first team awards. So, if you could all please stand up, that'd be great. No, you don't need a pound, JJ. If you shut the fuck up long enough, you'll listen to what the rules are and you'll understand it. God, shines. Right. Rules of heads or tails. Those of you that haven't played before, which is probably about 1% of the room, but we'll go through it anyway. I have a coin in my hand. I will flip it. It will land on either heads or tails. You will indicate heads or tails with both hands, nice and visibly, to the entire room. You may not switch once I tell you that you're locked in. If you get it wrong, you will sit down. If you get it right, you will remain standing. You'll be pleased to know that everyone bought into it, so everyone in the room is eligible for a £200 top cash prize, which must be spent behind the bar by then, by the way. If it's anyone that's different, if JJ wins it, we might distribute it there on the room. Okay, right, now that the T's and C's are out of the way, please make your choice for round one! Please lock them in 3, 2, 1. Totty? Sorry. This is my wedding jacket from 7 years ago. I can barely move. Can't move my fucking arms. Oh, Paddy's out. How did you get back in? Right. Round 2. The stats say that half of us should still be in. Please make your choices for round 2. Locking them in. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it is a Vapadiana. What is it? Heads. Yeah! If you have heads, remain standing. Oh, that's still in. I'm a big shit. I'm feeling lucky. Right. Round 3, make your choice. I'm going to call up a guest tosser. Nick Ryan, please, could you come to the stage and please be my guest tosser for round 3? Top man.
Hang on.
Please lock them in. 3, 2, 1. No more changing. That's a great toss. Top toss.
Heads.
What are the chances? How many we got left? Oh, I think we're down to a front row game. I think we're down to the front row. Still in to the front, please. What do you point at before you fucking get to the front row? Please, everyone, straight line, please. Straight line, please. Get to the front of there. Thank you very much. A straight line. JJ, stop touching Hannah, please. Okay. New guest tosser. New guest tosser. Come on, Matt. You big stiff idiot. Oh, sorry. I'll get barbs on you. I'll get barbs on you. Oh, Joe. The £2 coin, you big oaf. Right, what have we got there, Cormac?
It's a tails.
There we go. Oh, what a swipe. Very good tossing Cormac. Here we go. Please make some noise for who you would like to be crowned as your champion. This time, but in fact, we've, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tom Doherty, is our lead commentator. He's also known as Peter Drury around here for Waxing Lyrical. Could you please introduce the rule for this round?
Yeah, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the awards evening this evening. This time we're going to do 3, 2, 1 and then choose. So there'll be no early picking, so there'll be no looking around. It'll be 3, 2, 1 and then choose heads or tails. Hands out in front, please. 3, 2, 1, choose! That means, ladies and gentlemen, if this is a tails, it will be Luke Hayward taking home the big prize. And so we are going to play.
I think we need a new guest tosser. Would anybody like to volunteer themselves as a guest tosser? Guest tosser, London, Billy! Oh, that's the quickest I've moved in 30 fucking years. Right, there we go. Here's toss between you and I, Billy. It is a head. It was always good, but it actually was. Okay, I think we need back to back now, please, thanks. I think I'd also like you to just introduce yourself. Tell the crowd about yourselves a little bit.
Hold up, round.
Lekker, boys.
Cheers! It goes.
Don't touch arses.
Cheers!
King.
Cheers! Cheers! Cheers!
Okay, if I had a nine-sided coin and flip it, you boring bastards. Right, okay. And to toss the all-important coin, Tash, down you go! Right, Tash! There we go. Give us your best toss, Tash. Cut that. Oh, here we go. Oh! No. Start again. We're going to create a bit of fucking atmosphere in the room. We're going to whack the table and make some noise. We have a... Send you back details over. Have you got a head? Yes, we've been fucking racing it for the last few months. Thanks for keeping us up, Turkey. Well deserved. And not. I'll minus it off it. Where's that £2 gone? Tash, good time, bitch. Give it back. It's out of your till anyway. Fuck it. I thought I'd get £2 back. Anyway, sorry. Hi guys, I'm sorry about that. First team player of the season award. There was a talk earlier about sort of the core group. Obviously the same sort of applies, but as is a given in a club like ours. But the result of this award was significantly different. It wasn't that close at all, to be perfectly honest. There was a pretty not to say that you can't agree with results or disagree, but I think when you look at it, it looked fairly logical. The same sort of names were coming up time and time again, but they were in a pretty similar order, which I think that means that, I'm no scientist, but the results are pretty valid, I would say. Some of the names that were thrown in there on a very regular basis, Josh Nicol received many votes, so give it a Josh. There's that scrummaging specialist throughout the season. Received plenty of votes. There was another name in there that converted himself from a back row to a second row due to a lack of second row and muscle and man meat. But Nick Ryden's been an absolute Iron Man throughout the season. Received plenty of votes. I And then in a second place, but a pretty distant second place, if I'm being perfectly honest, was James Marsh, who's not here, but a really talented rugby player, going to go and do a Masters next year. We hope somewhere geographically viable, but we'll see. The first place went to Drew Prince, who's actually not here tonight. Drew, for those of you that don't know him, was about 5 years ago just known as Scott's brother, and that was about it. And that's not me trying to be mean, it was just the way things were. Drew didn't say a word to anyone, he wouldn't say boo to a goose, he couldn't string a sentence together, arguably still can't. But everyone looked at him and was like, he is going to be this sort of sandpit crew twos player, great to have them, they're valuable, but never really make it to the first team, no one took him seriously. And then he got thrust into the first team. People started thinking, oh actually this kid's got a bit of ticker. Oh actually, he's got a bit of ability. And then all of a sudden it went from seeming like a bit of a throwaway selection to making a lot of sense for player development and probably more importantly character development. Drew ended up being someone that now on a first team match day leads the backline in their warm-up activation. He will, if he speaks, and this is absolutely no disrespect to him at all, people then will listen because he knows what he's talking about. And probably more importantly, he's got passion for this club and what he does every match day like nobody else. There is not a single person that can say in this room or in this club that they care more than Drew does. He'll throw himself into absolutely everything. He's got an absolute lion heart and he is thoroughly deserving of the first team Players Player of the Year. There's no one to come up because Scott's here to accept his award and JJ fucking desperate to do it. Go on then JJ. Don't give me his award, he took a few minutes out of it. Well done. Should we give him the trophy? Go on then, get up! We'll give him the trophy. Who's that feels this?
Thank you very much. I don't like my food touching, thank you.
Okay, so before I go on to that, you can see that James is obviously Drew's alter ego. And they have both actually come through the ranks of the club. And it shows you that we take all types. And all Before I go on to the Tony Brooks Player of the Year Award, just a little note on Turkey, and you have played well, but it's not you. With that £200 win, you are without doubt the most expensive player we've ever had here per minute in this league. Okay. Some of the names still come up, the same people again. You know, Josh Nicol, we built our team, I mean he's the rock for the team, okay? And Nick Riding, who is the rock, okay? Yeah, no question about that. And then the normal candidates, Sean Engel, Greg Smith, James Marsh, Max Thomas, who's not here tonight, okay, shores up the midfield. And then there's Phil Wells, who obviously, you know, came through the ranks, has built a team around him in a way. He just does his job, gets everything he has to do, and never complains about what he has to do, just turns up, drives up, goes to work after training. Greenwood's love child. But in the coach's mind, there's again one player who just this year stood out, and I have to reiterate the things that Frenchie said. I've watched this lad grow up in front of my own eyes. I've put him into positions where, honestly, as White Rice, and that's his nickname, yeah, wouldn't be able to even have, he would have just melted 5 years ago in those positions. And he's now sitting in huddles, standing in huddles, telling people what to do. It's an amazing transformation. And then he goes out on the pitch and basically says to every player, this is what it means to play for Maidenhead. And that lad is Drew Prince. Unfortunately, not as mature as I thought he was, because I think he's gone away on holiday with his parents.
Swing his cameraman club.
So, we're not going to do a presentation on it because we don't want James to come up again. Okay. All right. So the final award is for Team of the Year, and I'm going to ask Dick, our president, to do that. Okay. All right.
Were you up there, Dick? Somebody wake him up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Dick, thank you. It's the Alan Crossland Trophy, obviously. Links to Nigel as well.
Right, boys and girls. Right, Alan Crosland, when I first joined the club, Alan Crosland was the senior member of the club. He didn't play rugby, he just came and supported and drank a lot of whiskey, particularly Bell's. That's another story. But he was one of the instigators of the Colts, and we've heard tonight, and I'd like to endorse what Mobsy said about 36 players coming up through the Colts, or the youth. As I was brought up in South Wales, we're called the youth and the Colts are the same thing. And he was one of the starters of a Colts team within the club. There are other members, Jeff Cowan and Richard Brook and so on. So we owe a lot to them. Now the name Crosland, in my opinion, is like a name which is written into the DNA of the club. Because not only was Alan a very good ambassador to the club, but his son played as well and eventually became captain of the first team before he emigrated to New Zealand. Big mate of Offie's, and we've stayed with him out in New Zealand, and he still has very fond thoughts about the club. But also, Alan's daughter, Fiona, married a dual international, and that was Jamie Salmon, who played for New Zealand, and then he came back from New Zealand to live in England and play for England. And so we've kind of reunited our friendship, as it were, because you do lose touch, but as soon as you meet up with people, it's like as if you haven't been apart. And Fiona and Jamie's three sons play for Farnham. And when we played away, I couldn't go, because I was ill again. And then when they came here, we beat them here, and she was here with two of her sons, and Jamie was here. They're not together anymore, but that's the story about the Crosland Trophy. He was a very honourable bloke, great company, he'd have you laughing, very dour Yorkshireman. I'll tell you a quick story. We went on tour to Bad Godesberg, and we had a driver called Ginger Green, who was a pisshead. So I drove the coach from the other side of the channel to Bad Godesberg. I did have a license, by the way. And the guards got on with Sten guns. Alan had drunk a bottle of Bell's whiskey, not a glass bottle, it was a china bottle hanging around his neck. And he's sitting in the front. These two guards got on and they said, "Where is the green card?" And Crosland looked at them and they said, "Fuck off," he said. "We've beaten you twice, get off the fucking bus." And these two blokes said, "We have the right to turn you back." And I said to Crosland, sitting in the driver's seat, "For fuck's sake, shut up." So he was a great bloke, but he was a pisshead as well. So on that note, I'd like to present the Alan Crosland Trophy to the Vets team.
Fucking called it, boys!
Thank you very much, Nick. So that's obviously because we're all pissheads, I don't know. So yeah, very fitting. But yeah, it's been a great sort of season. So for everyone that might not know, we've had 6 games, so that's a busy old season. A few have been cancelled, so we won't have more. But I think me and Voter worked it out, so we haven't really been keeping much track. But 3 wins, 3 losses. Lost to Marlow out there, unfortunately, but by a point. It was so close. But we've always had a vets team in one way or another at Maidenhead, as most people know. But it usually 1 or 2 games a season. So it's the first year we've managed to get into a league where we play on a Friday night. If we feel confident, we start for 40 minutes a half. If we don't, we say 30 minutes a half. So, but no, it's been great fun. Really impressed. We're getting 30 odd old boys down on the week before, and then it gets to Thursday, and most people usually call Max in that list. He's crying off. And yeah, so we've had pneumonia, we've had pneumonia, a dead cat, we've had all sorts of excuses coming out on a Wednesday night. But no, it's been great fun, and we really need to keep it up with the vets, I think. It brings that sort of social element back to the club that we were after. So I'll ask the vets that are here, thank you very much, and I think we need to get the rest of the boys down more often. We're playing on a Friday night, we should be down here supporting on a Saturday as well. So thank you very much, guys. Cheers for the
Okay, I think that's it. Well done to all the winners. If I can ask you to leave the trophies here, I'll give you a replica-ish, but at least it records what your name and win was. So I'll ask you to leave it here, and I'll finish that.
Just one final message. All the beers are on Turkey.